Workshop, and today we're working on a 2000 Yamaha Mountain Max 700 triple. First things first, let's take a look at what we got under the hood. So I already ripped into this engine a little bit. Last year, what I had happened to me was I had this engine seized on me. I tore this thing apart, and here's what I found. We already removed our air box, our triple pipes, our cylinder head, and our 3 cylinders. Once I removed all the necessary parts to find out what was wrong with the engine, we found out that our snowmobile actually leaned out and we burnt the top of the magneto side piston as well as the PTO side piston. The next step I want to do is I want to check our crank seals to make sure that we didn't have a leaned out air mixture that caused that problem. The first thing to do to check my crank seal is I need to remove my primary clutch. The primary clutch is located under our belt guard. Here we have our primary clutch, which is the clutch that is attached to the engine, and here we have our secondary clutch. This we do not need to worry about removing. To completely remove our belt guard, I need to remove this pin. Once the clutch cover's removed, we're going to remove our bolt holding on our primary clutch. Once I remove the bolt from our clutch, now we need a specialty tool to remove this. Our crankshaft has a taper to it, and so does our clutch. When the bolt attaches to the clutch to hold it down, it creates a tight seal that we need to break with a specialty clutch puller. Here's an example of a clutch puller. The only problem is this specific thread only works on a Polaris clutch. Today we're working on that Yamaha. This Polaris puller is not going to do me any good. I'm going to show you guys a little trick on how to remove it with a bolt, M18 by 1.5 pitch thread, little Teflon tape, and a little bit of liquid. Step 1, flip the old girl on her side. Grip it, grip. The way this clutch tool works is the threads thread into our clutch, and the end of this rod pushes against the crankshaft, releasing the clutch from the crankshaft. With the shorter bolt that has the same threads as the inside of the clutch, we fill the inside of the clutch up with liquid and compress that liquid against the crankshaft. In order to create a watertight seal, I need to use the Teflon tape wrapping the threads of the bolt. And it's very important, I can't stress it, to wrap it counterclockwise. So as you thread the bolt into the clutch, the Teflon stays tight and does not unravel. For step 2, almost any liquid will work. We need to pour that down the center of the clutch. After our center of our clutch is filled up with liquid, now it's time to thread in the bolt. What I gotta do is lock the clutch down so it doesn't rotate. I'm gonna use this pry bar here to lock it against the secondary clutch.
Now that my primary clutch is removed, I can remove the engine from the snowmobile.
As you can see, thanks to our homemade clutch puller, we were able to remove the engine. Always don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next project.